Okay, good afternoon all. Hope everyone's well. Hope everyone's had a great weekend. What is going on here? It's all right. I'm just looking at my daily chart. Something doesn't look right there. Okay, so I don't know what's going on there. Let's reload that. So, hey, Woods, how you doing, buddy? Okay, I think that's okay now. And that's sorted itself out. Let's just get this out of the way. Okay, there's the daily. So, let's shove that out of the way. So, I hope everyone's had a good weekend. So, as you can see, I took a trade earlier on. I'm all right, mate. I'm okay. I took a trade earlier. We had a leg up there. We had 2 attempts to go lower. There was like leg, and it's bouncing off here. So, 3 times. And there was a higher low. I actually got on a limit order a few ticks back and got out for 2.75 points. So market is open. We do seem to be working up. So let's
order
just look
submitted.
At this. There is a possibility of a higher low there. Let's just have a look. So, hey, Brick, how you doing? Can't balance. Yeah, it's looking okay now, isn't it? It's looking pretty good. So leg down, leg up, leg up. Let's see what's going on here. So touch. I actually drawn it back to Friday because it's touching a few times there as well. So let's just see what happens here. Let's just put that there. Slightly on the more bullish than not, but just nothing I really want to take at the moment, just in case it does have a leg, a break and come down here. But it looks like it's working up, so that would have worked for a couple of points anyway, but I just wasn't a massive fan of that. So let's just
order
get rid
canceled.
of that for now. So Indy, how you doing, buddy? So last week leading up to Christmas, it'd be interesting to see how much volume there is today. It started off okay anyway, it's moving and it's not been too bad volume overnight. So let's see how we get on, but we do sort of see a bit of a trend forming. However, we could hit a point here, come back down, it may turn into a range, so we have to keep an eye on that. We got no news today, so that's good. Let's have a look back a few days. So we had that original nice push up after that good news, and then we've been going sideways. We had a bit of a dip there. So it'd be interesting to see what happens when we get to these highs. We got Friday's highs and Thursday's highs, and I think that's the highest we've been for a long while. So it'd be interesting to see what reaction we get here, whether we'll come back down into this sort of range that's been going on sort of for the last 3 days. So we got a leg back. Interesting to see what happens, but we do seem to be working up there. So far, so good. Let's see how we get on. So, yeah, as you can see, I took a trade there. I got in at a bit of a limit order. As soon as that one triggered and pushed back up, I got in there and it pushed back up, and I got out for 2 3/4 points. I expected that other leg, and it did right to the leg, but I think I was out around about in this first push. So, let me just see if there's something else there. No. I think this looks okay. We started here and we had this first swing and it's respected it again a couple of times there. So I think that's pretty good and it fits nicely with those last few touches before we ended on Friday. So let's see how we get on. So I'm not sure how this week's going to go. I'm guessing come Wednesday, I'd say Wednesday we probably have a full day. And then I'd say Thursday, Friday it'll start feathering out. I think volume will start to drop. But we'll see. I don't think we've got Mac this week. I think Mac's finished now completely now till the new year. Why not? So, okay. Let's see what happens here. Possibly 2 legs back. Leg back, come back here. It'd be nice to get a couple of trades and get done early. So we pushed up in one attempt to go lower, second attempt, get maybe a triple test here at the EMA. We may get back off again. We'll see. Leg down, leg down. If we can drop down here and get something nice and bullish, that might be good for a couple of points. We'll see. Just having a quick scan at the NQ above my head as well. We seem to be working up nicely there as well. We had sort of that initial open, couple of legs back. That's what I took there. There was a higher low on there actually, but I did nothing in it, and it worked the same anyway. But we do seem to be working up there, which is always good. So perhaps be interested to see what happens here. If we can get above these highs here, which is the highest we have been for a long while. Let's have a look. Beginning of the year, I think at least, maybe the end of last year. So if we can get above here, we may get a decent run here. We may get a decent rally leading up to Christmas. I think the news is good. So we've got a leg back, leg up. We'll see. The news is good. Everything's looking kind of nice actually. Coming up to Christmas. We know we've got some rate cuts next year. I believe a couple are on the cards. So I think the general feeling is pretty good. So we may get a nice run today. I have a feeling that it started quite high, that ATR, but that ATR is coming down. So I have a feeling we may get a really nice run today. We'll see. So we got a leg up sideways. There's the failure. It's a doji. There's no real setup there in all fairness. It's a bit sideways. You don't know whether we're going to get down to here, but it's starting to look kind of nice. So obviously it'd be interested to see what happens when we get to there, whether we continue on up or what. We shall see. Yeah, I'm back onto 2 contracts, as you can see now. This account is 2,000. It's about $280 away from where the trailing drawdown stops, and where I could potentially take a payment if I wanted to. And that's taken. I think this is day 9. So the thing about trading 2 contracts is you do build a bit quicker into that safe area, but obviously you need to be able to take it on the chin if something goes wrong. As I'm just doing this one at the moment, I'm just focusing on 2 contracts and just trying to steadily, you know, build it up. What I'd like to do is get it up. Ideally, I think an ideal place to get it to is around about $7,500. That way you should be able to take a payment every month, hopefully. And then just continue to build. Okay, so I've pushed up. There's a bearish bar there, so trouble is just a bit too dangerous to go along there just at the moment. This will be interesting to see what happens here. There's a bearish bar there which is triggered, and there's a lower high forming there. Be interesting to see what happens if that finishes bearish and triggers. Be nice to see that. Be nice to see that finish bearish and trigger. Possible second entry long there. It may come down here, but I think personally there's a short there and a lower high there, but we're moving up, so I think it's dangerous personally. So let's see what happens. It's certainly not safe to go short there, really. Doesn't mean it's not going to work, but obviously the momentum is up at the moment, so shorts are off the table. Okay, possible second entry long. Not a fan of the bar because it could create a failure. It may come down to here. I don't think it will. But I'd have preferred that to finish bullish. If that had finished bullish, then I may have been interested. Yeah, I have a feeling we may get down to here and test this bottom line. So I'm not getting involved in a long there. I'd like to see that retest this. So we're going to touch. If we can touch it, it's working nice. It's working nice. It doesn't look like it's losing momentum at all, but I'd just like to... okay, so we've come back and touched right on the nail there. So let's see if we can continue on our... Because obviously there's always the possibility that we're working up in a range and we're going to sort of come down. But I like the way it's held there, so that's a good sign. So if we can get a bullish bar and a higher low, never take this first one, just in case, because if we are in a range, that'll trap and it'll come down and it'll create a failed second entry long, trap the longs and down will come. So there's always a possibility when it starts up like this that we end up going into a range. It did look like a range for the time being, part of it. Then we broke higher, came back and continued on working. So I never take the first one now. I never take these unless it's an absolute classic leg and leg and it's a perfect setup. If that would have been a perfect bullish bar, then that may not have been a bad trade to take. But this type of thing, even though it's testing that line where I wanted it to, just because it's tested, that doesn't automatically mean it's going to go up. So I'm just going to sit tight, and if we can get a higher low indicating continuation, then I may go. But it's not losing momentum. It's still working up. We work nicely up here, then same again. So it's, you know, it's working up. But there is always the possibility that we could be in a range. It's touching in a few places there, see, so that's always a possibility. Something like that's happening. Once, twice, three. There's 4 touches there, see, so it may trigger long and then come rocketing down. But at the moment, we're working up, so I just want to see more of the same. I have a feeling we're going to break here. I think there is a possibility we may be topping off here. It may be a bit of a range, or it might be a case of we just have a leg and a leg, but I have a feeling we're going to break this channel. We'll see. I might be wrong, but... Okay, hey Sam, how you doing, buddy? Let's see you down there. Are you trading, are you, mate, or you work? I'm assuming you're breaking up this week, aren't you? Oh, you're at work. How's Scotland at the moment? Cold? Snowing? I know there is a lot slower. I might do a bit on an eval tonight. Good on you, mate. Good on you. Volume's okay so far, so I'm guessing it's going to fizzle out. Hey, Speedy, how you doing, pal? Just chilling. Yeah, it's quite mild here, actually. Where are we at the moment? It's about 13 degrees, actually. 13 degrees centigrade, which is mild for the well, this time of year, anyway. So let's see. I have a feeling we're going to break this channel. 11 degrees, but wind. Yeah. It's actually quite mild, that, isn't it? 11, really, especially this summer here. But yeah, I can see a break here. Leg. Yeah, we've the 1, 2. We've hit a triple test there. I think we're going to lose a bit of momentum. I think we need to come down here and regroup. I think leg up. Yeah, there is a possibility we're just in a big range here. There is a higher low there, but I'm not taking it because it's just weird at the moment. We're coming down for sure, I think. I don't like this. Whenever it's doing this, it looks trappy to me. So I think we need a break. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is sideways. Okay, so I think we're coming down here. So we got leg up, one attempt to go lower, second attempt to go lower, maybe a break, push up new high, we'll see. So I expect that to come down now. Still working the weekends. I haven't done, mate, the last 2-3 weeks, something like that. The last 2-3 weeks. My wife's been doing quite a bit of extra overtime, so she's bringing the extra money. So have a look. It may hold. Come down right down there and literally we've come down there and literally touched that, so it's hard to say. I still think we need a bit of a break, a leg back and a leg. We'll see. We're coming up to Friday's highs and this year's highs up here. I think it's been, I don't know how long it's been, but let me have a look. It's been over 12 months since we've been up here. I'm pretty sure it is. Let me have a look. April. Yeah, it's been over a year since we've been up here. Obviously, we made a high. I think we've only once ever broken that high. So we're not far off. What's your plan for adding more PAs? It's a difficult question, that, mate. So part of me thinks, I mean, I'm $300 off, $280 off. I gotta say, I'm $280 off being able to withdraw. It's not stressing me at all, actually, which is a new experience, actually. And I think the reason being is just because I am just trading one contract. One account. So, you know, I've had, I think the most accounts I've had is 5. But the couple of times I've lost, well, I've blown them, have both been 4. And that adds more stress. So I think, personally, get one account up to a nice, comfortable level, like I would say somewhere around about the $7,500. If you can get up to $7,500, and I'm trading 2 contracts, that's what, $75 is a percent. So realistically, I'm risking 3 to 4% trading 2 contracts. And what I can say then is if I can get to $7,500, which I've been up to before, I did on that first one in January, I got that up to about 7,700. But I ended up breaking rules and just doing something silly. But I think the plan is just to get the one up to $7,500, and then I should comfortably be able to withdraw $2,000 per month from this account. I should comfortably be able to do that. Trading 2 contracts. I mean, I've only got to win 5 trades in a month, really. 10 trades in a month, which is, you should be able to do that. If you can do 1,000 comfortably on 1 contract over a month, you should be able to do that on 2. It's taken me 9 days to get to $2,300. See, so $2,000 in double that shouldn't be a problem. So if I can get to $7,000 and I'll take a payment, what I think I'm going to do then is maybe get 2 more or 3 more. I would say probably 2 more accounts and start building those. And then when I get another payment from the first account, the month later, maybe do 2 more. So I might add 2 more a month, something like that. And build it up a bit slowly. But I was chatting to Wilson over the weekend. He messaged me, and he was just asking what I thought about two ideas he'd had about sticking to the 50,000 or building up to the 300,000. And I know he said he's been feeling the pressure a bit, and rightly so. When you've got 20 accounts, it's a different ball game. I think it's very hard. Hey Chris, how you doing, bud? I think it's very hard going straight up to 20 accounts when you've not had much in the way of payments before, because that is one hell of a big responsibility, having those. If something goes wrong, that's, you're talking heartbreaking. And I know Wilson's lost 20 accounts before, and I can't imagine what that feels like. I know what it feels like to lose 4. I can't imagine what it feels like to earn 5 times, to lose 5 times that. But I've had a couple of bits of a natter with Wilson, and I think he'll do all right. He just needs to break this initial, because I know he's been. He just needs to break this initial $2,600. I think when he gets above 3,000, 3,500, he'll start to relax again. But just seeing it, I was watching him one of his trades the other day, and I could imagine he's had payouts. Yeah, he's had payouts. Let's have a look. Brant, how you doing, buddy? I've got 16 PAs, can mentally only trade like 5 at a time. Yeah. I personally think it's better to split them down. In an ideal world, if I had 20, I'd trade 10 and 10. But I think a lot of people... Now, why is that? There are still issues. We all know there is with whether it's Rhythmic or Ninja Trader or for whatever reason. Now, you can imagine something going wrong when you're trading 20 accounts and you end up losing them. I don't know how I'd manage there if something went wrong. So I think it's always better to, so I agree with Brant, split them up, 5 each, or even split your 20 into 3 or whatever, however you want. Everyone's got a different, but I still hear scary stories about things going wrong, and I don't want to be on the receiving end of that. And if I am, I want it to be, limited onto limited accounts. So I've done lots of thinking about what's the easiest way to grow accounts. Now, ideally, I'd say for you, Sam, you just need to get your first payment under your belt. When you get your first payment under your belt, it gets a bit easier. You know you've done it then, and then I think every other payment you get is a little bit easier. But when you're talking multiple accounts, that comes with an extra level of stress for sure, because there's a lot more on the line, which I think it's a good idea to split them up. Maybe take 1 trade on that, and if you can manage to get 1 trade in the first hour, then flick on to the next set and do it like that. But ideally, what I'd like to do is trade 10 and 10, because if you're trading 2 contracts, you should really quite comfortably be able to get to $2,000 of profit. I'd expect a bit more. Now, I've done $2,300 and this is day 9, so you imagine having double that time. It shouldn't be any great difficulties. I'm talking about an average. So if you can be withdrawing sort of, 10 lots of $2,000 a month, or even if you 1,000 from each, let's say you're trading one day, one the next, one day, one the next, and then just take $1,000 out of all 20, that's $20,000. Honest to God, if someone said to you, I'll guarantee you earn $20,000 per month, in all fairness, we all have dreams of earning more, but I think you snap their hand off. I certainly would. If I could guarantee me earning $20,000 a month, I will be, if I generally think that's what I'll get every month, I'll be really pleased with that. So, I still dream about having 20 accounts and withdrawing $2,000 twice a month, but in reality, maybe in time, but I think because of the psychological pressures, I think it's pretty hard to do initially, and it just takes time to build. But I think if you can get maybe 6 months in a row where you're taking consistently decent amounts of money, you'll start to get a big surge of belief in yourself that I really can do this. Because there's so many failures in trading, it's very hard to have that belief and confidence, because you're still we all have those doubts, don't we? You know, I mean, I've learned lots of different things throughout my life, and I've never learned anything where I've had so many failures. But I think with this one, I'm going to build this up to $7,500 and start to withdraw $2,000 per month. And every time I do, I'm just going to add a couple to it. So I'm building up a bit slower. Not to mention issues every now and then. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, stuff goes wrong, as we know. Now, in all fairness, Apex usually sort the problem out, but only when it happens to multiple people. I still hear a few people, you know, someone made a comment the other day that, you know, something had opened some trades or whatever. I don't know. You don't know what the full story is. I mean, it could be someone just with a grudge. You don't know. But, you know, we do know that they have problems, and I think it's better to split it. At least that way you've got some damage limitations there. But as we know, it's a journey, this, isn't it? It's a journey you just have to go through. You can't show someone how to trade. You know, you can help them with a strategy and give them some guidance, but ultimately the only way you learn to deal with all these emotions is just to do it again and again and again. And, you know, like anything, if you do something enough, sooner or later it won't have that same psychological barrier, you know. Yeah, I bet there is. Yeah, see, what was I going to say? I was chatting to someone the other day. I was flicking through. My wife asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I was flicking through, and that's not even Vince. Yeah, hitting 1 million. I mean, we all know, you know, it doesn't take a maths genius to work out how much you could earn. If you could earn, put it this way, after tomorrow, that's 10 days. So potentially, if I've got an account, I could have earned $2,000 in the last 2 weeks, and $2,000. So you could earn $4,000 from each account. You know, potentially, you could potentially earn more. You know, lots of different strategies go for different types of, some people scalp, some people go for 3, 4, 5 points, some people go for more. So we all know how much you can earn. You know, as soon as you start in this business, you start to realise how much people are earning, but getting there isn't, you know, it's not a quick fix. It's something that takes time to build up. You can't just go from managing one account to managing 20 and seeing them massive dollar bill signs, and it can't have an effect. It has to have an effect on you. You know, as I say, I was chatting to Wilson over the weekend, and he said he's felt it, and rightly so. 20 accounts, it's a lot. It's a lot on the line, isn't it? And we all know sometimes those emotions can rear their ugly head, and we've all revenge traded, and after it's all over and done with and your account's gone, you sit back and you're thinking, I can't even remember making a conscious decision to do it, and it's almost like there's a little devil inside which comes out, and you find it hard to control. So we all have those, you know, feelings inside of us that, oh, I don't want it to happen. I know it could happen, you know. Which is part of the reason why I've reeled it back and I'm starting one. And in all fairness, I would say to a new trader, until you can get one to work and pay out regularly, don't bother going for more, because, you know, I've had 4 and 5 accounts, so I've never had that many paid out at once. I've only had one. So I think really you need to get a consistent payment, or at least build it up to a level where you can take a consistent payment and then reinvest, you know, some of the money back into it, which is my plan. But as we know, all you know, the best plans can fall apart a bit. So I'm just trying to do the best I can and trying to move forward. But yeah, we do read these stories, Sam, don't we, about these big payouts. We know now. We know they happen. They do happen. Absolutely. Yeah. See, you know, was it? I think it was Nick Sesto said to me maybe a year ago, just think about a loss as a business expense. So I don't know, if you had a business and something went wrong and you had to cough up 3,000 or 5 grand or whatever for a new bit of machinery or this, you don't think twice. You don't get stressed out, start panicking and go to the casino and try and make the money back to you. You just pay it and move on. So it's trying to put that into perspective, isn't it? And That ATR is really dropping. I have a feeling we could have a really good trending day today. We've had a couple of days. We had that good news, didn't we, from the Fed about rate cuts next year, and then we had two massive big pushes up. And for the last couple of days, we've had sort of like one pullback, a second pullback. So if we can we're actually here now. This is the highest we've been for over a year, this level. So if we can get above this level and hold it, I can see us having a good push up. Someone told me quite often we do get a nice rally around about Christmas time. So if we can get above there, then we may get a nice push today. So we'll see. So let's keep our fingers crossed. I hate it when I want to move something and the price is on it. Move. So we've had this initial move, haven't we? I did have a feeling we're going to have a break then, and we did, and we comfortably pushed up. No issues there. Strong up, right up to a new high. So if we can get maybe a correction, hit this and then get a correction, then we may get something a bit bigger. I'll say, yeah, but I think it's important, especially for you, Sam, when you get your first payment, mate, to use a bit of it back in. I wanted to try and have that attitude that I didn't want to reinvest until I made something, because it is frustrating when it's all you seem to ever doing is putting money in. But when I got my first payment, it's just nice to get something back, and I knew the account probably wouldn't last, but at the time, I think it's good to get some money, even if the account doesn't last. But, you know, what you've achieved is the fact that you've managed to build an account to that level. So if you've done it once, you can do it again. And when you get a bit of a payment, it's nice. It's nothing nicer than getting your first payment. You actually feel like you're finally getting somewhere. Yours will come, Sam. It won't take long, mate. It'll come. So, do you know what I think? So look. I'm not convinced that is a break, actually. Touch. Actually kind of fits better. Let's see, but this is interesting. We're going a bit sideways where this high was on Friday. So be interested to see what happens when we get above that, if we do. But what I have noticed lately is when I've gone from one contract back up to two, it's not scaring me as much when I'm in trades. I was in that trade. I was quite happy just to leave. In fact, I even walked off and went to the toilet. Going back a year or two, and I'd have felt like my neck was in a vice. So you do get used to that feeling. And you do get used to the case that you see a setup, you take it and you let it ride. If it works, it works. Is Friday a holiday? I think it's a normal day, I think. Do you know what, Sam? I thought about it, but I think this year I will probably benefit from a complete break because I don't think I've had any more than about 3 days off in 3 years in a row. So I think I'll probably benefit from it. But you know what it's like sometimes. It can get a bit boring, can't it? But I don't know. The plan is, I think, to have the whole not come back till the second, I think, isn't it? But having said that, last year, I think Christmas, was it the 27th, was probably the best day I've ever had. I had a 1,300, was it a 1,300? That's best. Yeah. I think I hit $1,300 last year. We were thinking coming back. Yeah, I might just pop in for an hour and just have a look and just have a natter because it can get boring. You know, I like having time off, but I find I get bored quick. And sometimes I want to get back to work. Let me just have a look. I think I had my best day ever last Christmas. Let me have a look. Yeah, no, not quite. When was that? Yeah, 27th of December, I had $1,051. 28th of December, I had 1,330. So I made $2,400 in 2 days at Christmas. It was a fantastic day. Those are my 2 best days. So I don't know, who knows. Yeah, yeah. I may even just for the fun of it, just trade 1 micro on the Nasdaq or something and have a feel of that. I don't know. We'll see. I might be bored and I might come back, but I think it'd be good for me now. This account's growing. It'd be nice to have a proper break. So I think that's what I'll do. Last Christmas, yes, gave me lots of money, and the very next day, he took it away. I see what you did there, mate. I see what you did. But yeah, so I'm just saving that, mate. Save your money, give it to someone special, eh? I can't believe you quoted Wham. Mind you, I remember having a Wham t-shirt back in the day. What did it say on it? I can't remember. I know I had a Frankie Says Relax t-shirt. Frankie Goes, that's probably a bit before your time, mate, isn't it? Frankie Goes Hollywood, that was in about 1986, I think. When I was a mere 15-year-old, I think. We were in Northern Ireland at the time. My stepdad was in the army. So yeah, I might have a decent break this year. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I might be bored. So this is be interesting. This. Why can't I move that? It's locked. It's locked. I can get rid of it though. So this is the high of the year here. So this will be really interesting. Let's dress this up in red. Let's call it support resistance. So this is the high of the year. You're still going, are you, mate? Oh dear. I tell you what I will say, since I started trading full time, I never get ill. Because you're never out. Got to say, when you're out working, you're getting ill, aren't you? I never get ill. I can't remember the last time I had a cold. I shouldn't say actually, but I can't remember the last time I had a cold or something. But yeah, it's weird when you start staying at home for a living. Mohammed, how you doing, my friend? Look at D and X sharp. Fall into fill gap. QQQ Nasdaq. SPY follow DAX. It's a bit beyond me there, mates. I know some of what you're saying there, but I'm not sure about the rest of it. I'm sort of more a price action trader. I tend to just follow the price action. Very little to do with anything else. I have got the Nasdaq above me head, but I tend to trade just price action. So all I'm really interested in is what's going on at the current minute, really, or you know. So you're a bit above me there, mate. No, you're on about the DAX. You're on about the DAX, aren't you? Sharp fall in fill gap. Excuse me a second. Sorry about that. Let's have a look. But yeah, I just tend to follow the price action, really. I have got the Nasdaq above me. Everything is tend to be moving up nicely. But yeah, you put D, gap A, gap X. I'm assuming you're on about the DAX, aren't you? Sharp falling to fill the gap. QQQ, not sure what that is. QQQ. Nasdaq, SPY following the DAX. At the moment, we're getting this slow grind up on the Nasdaq as well. I got it above my head. So I would say, I think the chance of us breaking this year's highs will be pretty good. I say what I'm seeing at the moment is this. That's my thoughts, and we got two legs down here, so let's see how these legs form. Yeah, so we got leg up, leg down, leg down. Yeah, I'm expecting to get up there. In fact, I have a feeling 4,800 is the highest the ES has ever been, I think. Don't quote me on it, but I got a feeling that 4,800 sounds very familiar. So I like the fact that we're holding here, so that's a good sign. Okay, I've made my pennies today, so I'm going to bugger off. Going on, yes, your birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday for tomorrow, bud. So I'll see you all on Wednesday. You'll be, yeah. Okay, have a great day, mate. Happy birthday for tomorrow. Happy birthday. I always thought it must be horrible having your birthday around Christmas because you always get less presents, I reckon. You get stitched, I think. Maybe this channel there. Let's just sling that out of the way a minute. Okay, so yes, we got a push up, we got leg back, 2 attempts to go lower, and then off we go. I kind of like that. There may be something bigger. Yes, may. Yeah, it's true. You get screwed, don't you? You just don't get as much, do you? Yeah, I think it's unfair, I do. You always get less. Okay, so maybe there is something. Let's just kill that colour for now. Leg down, we've had a bit of a break. I'm not getting in here just at the moment because we are going up nice, so I'd like to see a correction. Let's just keep both of those there at the moment. Let me just change that colour. So we got a leg down and a break. We are touching that line and riding up on it, and quite nice. So unfortunately there's no real setup for us there. I think going along there is a bit risky. There's not much room to these highs. One tick above there, yeah. You got a point in the core if you're lucky. Especially now I think this channel is a bit tighter. I'd like maybe a higher low. But I do like the fact that it's holding there, so that's a good sign. I just want to see what it's going to do here. What I'd like it to do is push up through it, come back and retest it, and then go higher. But we are getting into new territory up here, so once it gets above here, who knows where it could go, because we've never been up here before. Well, this is, for me, I think 4,800. I'm pretty sure this is the highest the S&P's ever been. Let's have a look. You would have thought this information's easy to get, wouldn't you? So look on trading view. Oh, tell a lie. Tell a lie. Highest it's been is 48.4818. So that's a bit higher than that. 4818. So got a bit to go, yeah. 4818. So okay, so that's about the highest this has ever been. And in all fairness, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 points, that's nothing. Yeah, that's the highest that's ever been. So we're not a million miles away from it now. What's the highest we got there? So yeah, 27 points, that's nothing. Smash that in no time. Leg up, 2 legs of correction and a leg up. We could do that by the end of the day. Okay, so leg up, 2 legs of correction. Let's see what happens here. Leg. So we got a leg back. Never take this first one, waiting for a higher low. Let's just sling that out of the way. And sling that out of the way. Looks better. I prefer that. Let's leave that for now. Okay, excuse me just for 1 minute. Okay, sorry about that. So, okay. Okay, I'm not taking that. Something about it I don't like just at the moment. It is holding, but Okay, that worked. It is a second entry, but it does look a little bit choppy. It's not been too bad up to now, but it's a little bit choppy, so yeah, so you wouldn't have got 2 points out of that if you'd have taken it a tick above there. Mind you'd have been out for the push up sideways. So I'd like to come down, bounce here and bounce here again before I think we're going up. Interesting. Thought maybe some stops along there. 1, 2, 3, triple test. It didn't trigger though. Getting very close to this top. This is the highest it's been for over a year, I think. Let's get rid of that larger one, I think. I don't think we need it. Up, down, and then that's where I took that higher low there, and we've pushed up ever since. So, touch. It's looking pretty good up there. It's fitting perfect, sitting in all the right places. There is a higher low there. It's just too risky to go there, to be honest with you, because we've just got this yearly high up here. If I'm going to take something, it's going to be back here, really. Now, it's hard to know what's going to happen when we hit that, whether we're going to have a correction or whether it's just going to smash through it like it's not even there. Who knows? But it does look like push up sideways, like it might be one of those days where it might just keep going up today, but you never know. You never know. Anybody had any luck with this 1 day pass eval? I haven't even bothered trying. In all fairness, I don't think it sends the right message personally. You're basically giving people a chance to take a punt. So I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. So, you know, I tend to like to do it quick. So, you know, but I don't know. I think it sends the wrong message personally. Be interested to see what sort of reaction it gets, but I don't think it's going to get a great reaction. I don't think a lot of people are going to play it any different. I think most people are going to sit back and wait for the 80s and 90% off. I think that's a better option personally. Happy mine as well. Happy birthday to you both then for tomorrow. Yeah, I always thought it was a bit harsh having a birthday around Christmas. You definitely get less presents that way. Because you don't know really whether somebody just gets one of your Christmas presents and wraps it in birthday paper and go, there you go. So I always think you get stitched. That's talking from let's say a past 10-year-old boy, I'd say. Anybody else watching Billions? I'm on to season 2. I think I'm on episode 4, season 2 at the moment. I just started it a week ago, but it's really good. Very enjoyable. God, I don't know about anything else. Am I getting a bit old? I got a right old crush on that Wendy. I think she is nice. Something about her. Always seems to wear a black dress. Yeah, she's proper nice. Or am I just getting old? Yeah, she's nice. All right, Kev, how you doing, mate? I like her, actually. She's all right, actually. She's pretty... Yeah, she's nice. She's nice. There's something about her, especially when she dresses up in the black kinky gear. She's even nicer. That's the type of wife we all wish we could end up with. It's that, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, again, Wendy, her name is Wendy. Yeah, that's the type of wife we all wish we could end up with. That is just going to stick on the leathers and come and tie you up and whip your ass. Never quite happens in reality, does it? But yeah, Wendy, her name is. Quite an old-fashioned name, really, isn't it? But yeah, she's proper nice. And Rich, yeah, she's just had that big check, isn't she, for $5 million? Yeah, you're busy doing something. Yeah, she's married to Watts, isn't she? Is he district attorney, isn't he? They're not the type of couple you'd think would be together. I mean, obviously it's only a program but yeah, he ties her up, or she ties him up, and gets out the old high heels and all the strap-on gear. She's nice, actually. And I bet most of us have lied and said, "Oh yeah, our wife does that. Yeah, my wife does that." Never happens. Never happens. I mean, I thought something would happen between her and Axe. They sort of have their weird moments, do they? That one where we're in the pool and she stripped off and climbed in the pool, which was just odd, wasn't it? Yeah, it's a good. If you've not watched it, watch it. It's good. He's like a hedge fund. He owns a hedge fund, doesn't he? But there's lots of old dodgy dealings, and it's like the district attorney is just his wife. District attorney's wife works for it. She's like a doctor, like a psychology doctor, that type of thing, isn't she? But no, it's really good. It's a great watch. You're halfway to the dream. She ties you up and then goes out shopping. Yeah, it's not quite the life we all imagine we're going to have, is it? We all wish you can live in hope. Okay, so we're up. We're pushing up sideways. So it is sort of making foundations, isn't it, of a sort of a nice trend. I thought we were going to have a break, and we seem to be. It'd be nice to have a break, maybe a couple of corrections. The trouble is, it's going to take this. It's going to take this. The angle of this. If we do have a break and a break, I don't know. We'll see. But we've got the yearly highs here, and the we've never ever been this high. This is the highest the S&P has ever been, and that is not that far away. So, interesting to see what goes on today. We could hit all-time highs. So We get a leg up there and maybe a couple of legs of correction. Leg. We could hit it. We could hit it today. It's possible. I mean, from open to that high is not actually that much. Let's have a look. It's nothing. Is that, no, surely not. No, it's higher than that. Sorry. It's up here. So up there. It's only 48 points. That's nothing. About 6 months ago, when we had the news out, we had a 55-point green bar. So that's nothing getting up there. So if we can get a correction, depending on how that forms, that we could get up there. Possibly today. But soon. In fact, I'm going to put a lock on that. And I'm going to leave that on there. So let's make that red. Oh no, bright green. Where's the greens? Here we are. Let's go for lime green. Make it a bit thicker as well. And let's call this all-time highs. So I absolutely think we're going to get there pretty soon. We've had that massive big push up after that good news about the rate cuts. A couple of big legs up. Now we're going sideways. It ain't far at all, in all fairness. So I'd be interested to see what happens when we get to. We've got very close to it. This year's highs. That's probably a couple of ticks away, isn't it? At most. So we've got this break here. Let's just get rid of that for now. In fact, a couple of years ago, my wife bought me for Christmas one of those lock-picking sets, and I was just thinking, so what exactly have you got in mind here? It'll never materialise. It just comes with, well, it's like a lock-picking set. It just comes in a little zip sort of canvas wallet, and there's a couple of locks, see-through locks, clear locks that you can, and I just thought, am I getting the wrong message here? I think guys' message, men and women, their message is completely different. So she probably just thought something new to do, and I'm thinking, is somebody going to get tied up here? It just goes to show how our minds work completely different. Women have probably got something, you know, perhaps he's bored, we'll give him something to do. And from a guys, we've got a warped mind and we think straight away someone's getting tied up here. Just goes to show, doesn't it? So we've got a leg down and a leg down. Let's see, I'd like to see a couple of legs of correction here and then a push up. Let me see if there's going to be some form of a bigger channel. Let me just put that there like that to there and then bring that down to there. No, maybe not. Yeah, there is possibly. Oh, big drop there. So there is. That does look like a bigger channel there. So we've got a leg and a leg. So just for now, I'm just going to yank that out of the way. Okay, so a leg and a leg. It does look like two measured legs, that. So near enough. So leg and a leg. Bullish bar there. You never quite know, do you? So you don't know whether. I mean, there's always the possibility we're just in a range. It's always possible. So what I will say is actually the chart is looking nicer on the NQ. Touch, 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 touch. It's nice leg down, break new low. So we've got a little channel break new low. I like what it's done there. So I think this is going to continue on up by the looks of things. And if this continues on up, I think we're going to continue on up here and certainly make a new high. So if we can get a higher low here, that may interest me. But you could call this a failed breakout of this range, really, couldn't you? We had a pop out at the top. We often get the same out here, so that's probably not a bad trade to take there. I don't think it's a massive risk, is it? Let's have a look. 2.75 point risk. I'm not interested at the moment because what I can see is it fits nice. This is the first break, so you don't know whether we're going to just trap a few and then come down, and maybe it's just a range. Because, you know, as we know, when we're ranging, sometimes a channel just come down. If it gets to the top of the range, there's no necessarily, it's not, you know, there's no necessarily break new high. It just turns. So I'm not taking that. Because I'm just hoping it gets back to here, because if there is always a possibility we could come down and it may just be ranging, but we shall see. Okay, so there's a possible higher low there. Same again, I'm staying out of this because it may turn into a second entry short. I want to give it the benefit of the doubt that there is a possibility we could just be ranging. Because we have been the last few days and we've come up very close to this high and we've had a break, so there's always that possibility that we are going to come down and we may range a bit more. If we can get above this and break it, you know, then maybe we're going to continue on up, but there's always that possibility that we're going to come down now, so I'm just staying out of this initial bit of stuff. I mean, there is a possible higher low forming, but I don't like what's happening at the bottom here. It looks like it's struggling to get up there, so I'll get a bit finicky about these. And we've come down, we've gone once, twice. Yeah, all of a sudden it's not looking so good, that trade now, is it? But, I mean, we've clearly got a range here, so you are fading the breakout, aren't you, in the direction of the market? The trouble is it's actually closed below there, isn't it? Strange. I bet there will be people who will trade that. It will go along there and thinking, you know, we're going sideways. We've had a break, we'd expect a new high. 2, we've had a range, so we're fading the breakout. 3, we've had a little breakout at the top. Often we get the mirror image on the side, so perhaps it will work. We've come down so far, but it hasn't taken that stop out. But you would expect a trade like that to work, especially in the direction of the market. But I don't know. As I say, in a trend, yeah, you would absolutely think that, but obviously there's the possibility that we could be just in a bigger range here, and obviously we've hit a bunch of times here, we've broke out the top, then we've pushed back down, so there is a possibility this could just come down. So I always like to give it that opportunity. Sometimes I've looked to get in here before and it stung me, and the reason it hasn't worked is because we've been in a bigger range. So if we can push higher and continue on higher, then I'm forgetting the range and then thinking then we got some upward stuff. that's still not far away from fitting, so there's still a possibility there could be something bigger there. Touch, it doesn't fit too bad at all. So, but I'd like to just let it do its thing, and if it does start to work up, then happy days. But if it doesn't, I'd rather just initially stay out. If we do continue on up, then I think there's a good chance then we're in a bigger channel. But at the moment, I'd like to just leave it and let it sort itself out. Bearish, CPI data and monetary policy ahead. So DX follow high patterns, again react to the high. I feel a bearish. That's the SPY. Yeah. It's hard to tell really, isn't it? I mean, the last few days we're clearly just going sideways, and obviously we've come up here and we've come down to here, and we've come up here and we've come down to here, so there is a possibility we could come down now and have that. You know, we've had a couple, we've had a leg up and a leg up, so I suppose it depends what its plans are. Let's have a look. I mean, if it does push up and get above here and close above here, this is the highest it's been for over a year, as we know. But at the moment, it just looks like it's coming down. And that doesn't look like the type of break I'd expect along, because in all fairness, we're going sideways. As we know, trading max price action, most breakouts fail. And we're clearly in a range at the moment. You can see touch once. Well, you can see it's touching a bunch of times over there, clearly. Let's have a look. So we've touched, you can see it there. It's using it as a resistance there. We touch once, twice, 3 times, 4, 5, 6. So it's clearly using that to bounce. But now we've broken and we've retested this. We've closed below here. So if it gets below there, then because there is a leg, and I dare say there's going to be some longs in there thinking we're going to break the new high. So yeah, I am starting to think that maybe this is bearish. We'll soon find out. If it comes below here, there's going to be stops there for a short. Leg down, touch. There's definitely going to be longs there. So if it does come down there, it may do it quite swiftly. And perhaps we're just carrying, moving into what we've been doing the last 3 days, the last 2 days and today. And it is clearly down, up. So, you know, if you can't get above here, then I think you may be right. Okay, so we're a tick below there. If you've got to stop there, it's quite likely it's below there, but there's leg back. If we can get below this level here, then I would say maybe it's going to come down a little bit quicker. We'll see. But if it gets below there, then I can see it starting to quickly come down. Yeah, see, looking at the daily, we do seem to be finding maybe it's struggling a bit. 2 legs up, little bit of sideways, another push up. Okay, if we can get below this line here, then I think it'll come down a bit quicker. I watched some of that new Indiana Jones film last night. I watched about the first 45 minutes. Boring. It's just like the last one, the one before that. I think I'll stick with the billions. Okay, so what I'd like to see is that trigger. If that triggers and it comes down below there, which it looks like it's turning, then for sure, then I think we're in a range. Well, I say we're in a range. There is a possibility we could have a leg, a break, and a leg, and then a continuation up. But based on the last few days, we're clearly just ranging, and we're up to these highs or very close to them. So if we don't hold here, I mean, there could be just a bit of a pullback, maybe to the pullback some of this, but you never quite know. So I'd be interested to see if this triggers. Which it's about to, hopefully. We're still in this channel, so we've come down the bottom of the channel, so it'd be nice to know what's going to happen here, because we've come down and we've touched this underside of this range a few times and then dropped. Okay, so that's broken, so let's see what happens there. If we are coming down, I'd expect that to turn and drop that. Yes, if you watch that, it does that sometimes. It goes up, comes back, goes up. It's almost teasing you, saying, come on, come on, come on. And all of a sudden, wham, down it drops. It does that. I've gotten it trades like that in the past. It's sucking you in. It's, come on, follow me, follow me, follow me. And then after, I don't know, 30 seconds or so, down it comes quickly. Sucking you in, sucking you in. Sometimes it'll even give you another bar, a little bit more, and then before it drops. This, for me, is coming down, and it's going to take that long out. So my thoughts are bearish now at the moment, especially if we stop that out. It's quite a nice strong bar there, so if that does come down and stop that out, then for me it's down. But it does. It gives you bullish bar, gives you another bullish. I mean, it's, well, it's bullish. It's closer on. It's very high, and then it's like, come on, follow me, follow me. Look, I'm pushing up. Can't you see? Come on, get your order in, and then all of a sudden, it gives you a little bit of time and then drops. It's not as much fun, yeah. So if we can get below there and below this line here, we're going to start taking out some stops. I think that's a place I would expect to something push it up. We got one leg, two legs back, touching off this quite nicely, and then off we go, nice and strong. So if we can get below this bottom line here, I think we're golden. So that stop's about to get hit. Yeah. Oh, this might be interesting. Possible second entry short. I'd like to see that trigger. Okay, it has. That's interesting. Okay, second entry short. Now, we are pushing up in an uptrend at the moment, so there is that possibility we could go up. So do I really want to get into a short here? What I will say is we've pulled back and we tried to push high a few times and dropped. Tried once, tried twice. So I don't actually think that's a bad trade. If it ends up quite a small bar, I might take that one. But there is always the possibility that we could have it wrong and it may push up. because there's some shorts probably in there, and I'd say there's definitely some longs as well. So
order submitted.
Let's see how this ends here. There's not much room to these lows, though. That's the trouble. So finish now.
Order cancelled.
So the stop is still holding there and there. Personally, I think it's more likely to come down, but you never quite know. It's been pretty strong up to then, and we've come close to this yearly highs. So we could have a leg down, a push up, and another leg down, and then some more upwards. So I've got mixed feelings. I'd say personally, what it's looking now, I'd say it's more bearish at the moment. It just needs to eat up some of these stops. But there's still going to be traders, you know, wanting to sort of buy, I think. But once we get below there, I think then we've had enough opportunities after that break. Excuse me a sec. Let's have a look. So, yeah, once we get below these, I think come on, down you come. Leg up, could be another leg up. One leg up, two legs up. Okay, leg. I'd like to see this trigger. Yeah, it's getting a bit congested here. Are we going up? Are we going down? Who knows? Okay, there's a failure there. I got one strong, twice, trap in the longs. There's longs trap there. There's longs trap there. There's also some shorts trap. So if we get below this level, then I'd say we're at least going to come down to the bottom, possibly quite a bit lower. Okay, what I will say is if you look at the NQ, that measured move's played out. We got that push up and that second push up, and that's about played out. So we're working nice there. So this does look like it's dropping, doesn't it? We have had those two legs, so it's hard to say at the moment. So I think I'm thinking bearish just at the current moment. I'd like to see another push above here really, and then come down and then fade that. So we've got a leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go, so another clear push out, closing but bearish, and then I'd say we're coming down. So let me just tighten this up a little bit. Leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, maybe. Interesting. So push down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. I'd like to see a little bit push higher and then a bearish bar. Second attempt. I mean, there is always the possibility it could just continue up and make a new high, but I don't think that's what's happening at the moment. So we've got a leg down there, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. If we fail here, then I'd say we're coming down some more. But it's hard to say at the moment. I'd like to see this come down below the EMA quite strongly. Interesting. So that's held. So maybe we come down and get another attempt. Maybe this is just a break, a push down, one attempt to go, second attempt to go. Interesting. This is looking quite bullish. We've pushed strongly above the EMA, so then maybe we are going to make a new high. I didn't think we would here. So let's see. It is early yet, but Okay, folks, I am going to take a quick 5-minute break. Just check everything's sorted out. Quick 5-minute break. I'm going to make a cup of tea. We'll be back. So there you go. Let's leave it to it. It's just hard to know what's going on at the moment. It would look like we're trying to make a new high, but there is a possibility we could have a push up, quick drop, a second push up, followed by a drop, and then we're going ranging at the moment. But it's interesting because we haven't broken the highs of the year yet. So we had one go, but it'd be interesting to see what happens there. So I'm just going to leave that. I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break, 3 to 5 minutes, make a quick cup of tea, and I'll be back. Okay, interesting. Okay, so it did make a new high. Wow. Wonders never cease. Okay, and we've clearly smashed straight through the yearly highs. So, interesting. So let's see what happens now. We are 92, about 28 points, 27, 26 points away from all-time highs. So, are we going to continue higher? Interesting. Interesting. It does look like there is a bigger channel here. I'll see. So it's probably going to be some short strap there. I like the way it's pushed up and it's sat right on top of that. The yearly highs. So if that continues to push up, I'd like to see a bigger correction, really. I can't see that continuing straight on up. So push up, break, new high. Okay, so be interested to see what happens now. I'd like to see a couple of legs and some continuation, in which case I think we will push up there. But that looks to me like that big push up, 1, 2 attempts to go lower, and then off we go up again. That's what it looks like. I mean, we had that news, didn't we? Where were we going? There, we had the news, didn't we? Okay, that was it there. We went a bit sideways, and then we had the news about the rate cuts, and then we had a strong push up, couple of legs back, and another good push up. So 2 nice legs. So it looks like we've had 1 attempt to go lower, 2nd attempt to go lower, and then perhaps now we are pushing up. It's certainly possible, isn't it? Yeah, it does look like there's just a bigger channel pushing up. In which case, I don't think it's going to be long before we're up there. Will it be today? Who knows? It certainly could. We're not far away at all. 26 points. Nothing. In fact, what I'm going to do is just get rid of that, just for the time being. We've got a channel there, a break. I think I'm just looking for a separate channel here somewhere. There may be something bigger, but I'm not concentrating on something that big. We know it's come off the bottom. I'd like to see leg and a leg, and then come off in that sort of direction. After a big steep move like that, I can't see it not coming back to that EMA before it pushes higher. It might do, but I'd rather see it come back here a little bit first. Having said that, we have bounced once, twice, 3 times on top of the yearly highs. So I would like to see a leg back and a leg back. Which I'll be surprised if we don't get. I can't see us going up that steep and then just continue on and up. Leg back, and then maybe up some more. I think we'll have a quick movement in a minute. It's doing that thing where it's starting to flicker a little bit. Okay, once we get above here, we're into the unknown, really. Certainly up until here. Interesting. So it's clearly holding there. It's pushed above there, ticked through a new high, but it's come back and closed below that line. So there's always a possibility of a spike in a channel, something that's going to continue on this way. It's not doesn't seem to be in a hurry to come down. It's still looking quite bullish, especially after that good strong move straight up. Could have had a correction there, but we didn't. Well, I mean, it's not finished yet, but I'd have expected a correction there before we had some more movement. Perhaps we're going to get it. Let's see how this closes. I'm just not getting involved anywhere here because I still think it's going to come down for a bit. I still like a little bit of a pullback to that EMA. That looks like we've had a break. One sideways, two pushes up to a new high. I don't like that. I think we're going to come down here and have another break. It's got to come down here a little bit. Can't see that pushing up strongly again from there. There's always a possibility of something like that. It's starting to get slow now. It's getting a bit boring, isn't it? I've been going for 2 hours and 10 minutes. Before we got to that time highs. ATR is really low. Could just continue up. I do think this is just a big channel. It looks like it to me. It's fitting really nice along the top. Touch, touch, close enough. Touch, 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 touch. Yeah, it just looks like a channel to me, a big channel. I've had one leg up, so I think. Let's have a look. Let's put that there like that. One leg to there, and another leg, which will take us up around about 48.08, somewhere around there. I think there's a possibility we could. I've had this feeling since this morning, just the way it's slowly grinding up. That ATR's come down and down. So it does look to me like we're just continuing on up. I think we've had enough times now, maybe if there is a range or something, but it does seem to be just slowly grinding up. We've had, it looks like a leg and a leg with a break. 1, 2 attempt to go lower. Looks like a bottoming pattern, bullish bar there, and off it went strongly. So it does look like it's just going to continue to grind up. It's very slow, so whether it'll get up here today, if it does get up here, of course, who knows? But I like the fact that we've spent some time at this yearly high. We've pushed above it and we've bounced a few times, and we've sort of been below it, above it, we've bounced again. So it seems to be holding there, so I think there's a fair chance that's going to continue on up. How high it goes or where it goes after that, that's anyone's guess. But it does look like there is a bigger channel there. And we have finally broken the yearly highs, so next level up here is about 28, 26 points away, which is not a great deal, and that will be as high as the S&P has ever been. So what's crypto doing today? We have had a little bit of a pullback the last couple of days. Okay, it's slowly pushing back up again. Bitcoin's floating around about just under $41,500. So everything's looking quite rosy, actually. This is pushing up nicely. And Q's I got above me, it's pushing up nicely. Bitcoin's looking nice. Everything's kind of looking nice and rosy. What platform are you using to check those prices? I look back on Trading View. Look on the weekly chart or the monthly on Trading View. Look. Let's check again. Markets, indices, S&P. Yeah, so this is the monthly. Obviously going back way back when. So the highest I've got at the moment is there basically, which is 48.20 give or take, which is actually, I need to go up a touch more. Let's have a look. Yeah, give or take a few points, but yeah, it's close to there. So let me just take that lock off. So that is the highest, somewhere around about there. It literally just pushed up, hit that. Somewhere around about there is the highest the S&P 500 has ever been. So that'll be interesting. if and when it gets up there. I think it will. I don't think it'll be a long thing. You know, things are looking nice and bullish at the moment. Rate cuts, which are coming next year, which are all good. No more rate hikes, hopefully. That seems to be the general picture. So that looks like a... See, we had that initial push-up, didn't we? The initial push-up after the news, after that good positive news, and then we've gone sideways for a couple of days, and it does look like from here, some sort of 2/3 of the way through Friday, looks like we're now continuing up, and we're not far away at all, really. We've got above the yearly highs, which were back here. And we seem to be holding above there. I mean, we may pop down below there. That's okay. But it does seem like we're holding. So if we can get up here a little bit further, it's probably going to come back, maybe retest it here. So I don't think it'd be long before it hits that. We're not far away at all, really. So we shall see. Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. Interesting to see. It certainly seemed to push through there, no problem. So I think sentiment's really good at the moment. Everyone's feeling good. Obviously, Christmas, everyone tends to be feeling better anyway, don't they? Holidays approaching. Everyone gets that sort of Christmas feeling, don't they? Everything's looking nice and rosy. Cryptos are looking good. So people, you know, we're not far off extreme greed at the moment. So on the sort of greed indicator. So everything's good. Everyone seems good. But after that strong push up, we could come down, test this area down the bottom at some point. So whether we'll get up here by the end of the day or not, who knows? But I know sometimes part of the way through the day, towards the end, we get a rally. So it's really not far away. I mean, where are we now? From where prices are now, it's 27 points, 27, 28 points, which is not a lot, really. So if you've got money invested in this, or any of your pensions, I know a chunk of my pension's invested in this. So that's good news. Obviously, COVID hit and that affected everything, really. I know my pension took a massive dive, but it's looking nice and rosy at the moment. So we've pushed up, we've come back, and we've had sort of two legs up again, a little bit of sideways. I do, you know, EMA's nice. ATR is really low at the moment. Often it does that when we get this slow grind. So we'll say it may take a while. It's very slow at the moment, so I don't know whether we'll go up and go a bit sideways before we eventually push up. Who knows? I don't know if we got any news this week. Have we got any news leading up to? I'm not sure. Possibly we should have something. I mean, if that's slightly good news as well, that may take us right up there. So we'll see. We shall see. Are we going to go sideways a bit, or are we going to come down here a bit? Yeah, it's nothing here really. It's quite wicky. I'd like to see this drop below here and bounce off here again and close. Still in that leg down, have another leg down, push up and close on that line or above that line. It does look like it's slowly continuing. We've had this really strong push up. We broke that. Couple of legs back, nice big bullish bar, 2 legs up, 1 leg back, looks like a second leg back. It really does look like it's setting itself up for another nice continuation, doesn't it? There's no rush to come down. I mean, it may just come smashing down, who knows? But it does look like it's setting itself up nicely along that line, which is a good sign. And it looks like leg down, but who knows? It's just, I hate it when it goes really slow like this. There's nothing worse than being in a trade than when you've been stuck in it, especially from a scalper's point of view. You want to get in and out, really, but nothing worse than this slow stuff. Still can't take anything there, really. It may continue on up, but it's a bit congested. There's no argument there. I don't like all this wicks either side. It does give us the impression that we've had it. There's a spike in channel there because it does seem to be holding, as well as it is wicky. Touch. It is holding, so it's probably going to continue up. But there's no real setups there. It's just congested, so there's nothing you can do, really. I'm tempted to knock on the head today. I hate this slow stuff. It just fries my brain. And not only that, I've had a good $275 start to the day. Slow. Yeah, I'm going to knock on the head, actually. We're coming up to how long I've been trading for? Nearly 2.5 hours. I only usually do about 3, but it's just slow. Who knows what it's going to do here? It could come crashing down to here and then continue up, or it could very slowly go sideways and then slowly continue to grind up. But my work is done today. Nice $275. I got in nice and early, actually, before the official start. We had that initially push up, then we had 2 legs down, and we had a leg up, another 2 legs down, and it was working nice off there, and I like that. A nice higher low, sat comfortably on there, and there was trapping some shorts there as well, and that, well, ever since there, really, it's continued on up. So you too, Indy. So that's it for today, folks. There's still quite a reasonable amount of volume, actually. It's just going a bit slow. But it does look like it's going to... I wouldn't be shocked if I come back here later and it'll be up around here. But we're clearly going up at the moment. Nice and slowly. But I do feel like volume's going to feather off towards the end of the week. I mean, where was the open of the day? There. So... I mean, this is looking like a real strong trend, isn't it? It's slowly going up, sideways up, so not a little small bars, ATR's low. We had that bit of a break there, and then strong push back up, and it is it's holding along that line, but it's just going to be very slow, I think. And I just don't want to get involved at the moment. It's slow sideways away from this area. So who knows? Take him. Yeah, I've had a good start to the day. It's nice if you can get a trade. It takes pressure off then, so you can just sit and watch, and there's no rush. But there's nothing worse than slow. I only usually do another half an hour. I can't see a great deal happening in half an hour, in all fairness. We've had that amount of bars in the last 30 minutes, and it's just gone sideways, although it is still looking like it's slowly pushing up. So that's it for today, folks. Not a bad day at all, actually. Nice start, pretty much. A little bit choppy, but it's slow. It is slow, that slow grind, isn't it? So I'll be back same time tomorrow. So I hope you've done all your Christmas shopping. Time now is to panic. So I think most of ours is done. It's just some wrapping, I think. So I wanted to get it done earlier this time so we can sit and have a drink in the evening. Nice bit of dinner, watch some of the Christmas TV. And there you go. So I'll be back here tomorrow, Tuesday. I'm guessing Thursday, Friday, things are going to start quieting down. And then we'll be there taking a break. I'm looking forward to a break, actually, for Christmas. So there you go. So I appreciate all your comments. Been a quiet, slow, quiet grind today. I haven't said a great deal today. Sometimes, you know, when it's slow, what do you talk about? But there you go. So I appreciate all the comments. I hope you've had some green today. If you carry on trading, best of luck. I hope you get a setup. Failing that, I will see you tomorrow. So have a great evening. Stay safe. And we will talk same time tomorrow. So bye for now.